And I said, listen, I really have to get going. My dad does a traditional, weekly um, smoked turkey. He sets up, the smoker in the backyard, and he really likes it if we come by, before dinner and just hang out with him outside, while he's smoking the turkey. And I said, do you want to come? And he said, whoa, you sure that would be okay? I said, oh, yeah, no, it's what my parents do. The house is kind of designed expecting that, their kids are going to bring their friends over, and well, you sure they won't mind? That's great. And so he came over, and I just remember him commenting on how this never happens. Just being invited over to hang out in the backyard with some friends, with a friend's father who's smoking a turkey. This never happens. Things that that seem to us to be so insignificant and so much just the fabric of daily life was really big to him. And my parents met him. They had no idea who he was, which I will say, even in 1976, it's like saying, so I invited the Beatles over, and my parents had no idea who they were. So, but there's something so beautiful in watching, this innocence. And I think really what Eric enjoyed as well is like, they have no idea. They just think I'm this guy, Ronnie's friend, who I invited over. And at the dinner table that night, my mother and my father took a real interest in finding out more about his life in London and everything. And my dad said to him, so Eric, what is it you do? And he said, well, I play the guitar. Again, this is like asking the Beatles, so what's your field that you're in? Like, well, we're musicians. And I'm so glad. I remember just wanting to like laugh with embarrassment. It's like, what? How in the world could you be asking Eric? But I could see something going on there. And I just, stayed quiet. And he said, I play the guitar. Well, we had just lost my brother to a car accident. He's killed in a car accident. He was 2 years older than me. It was about a year prior to that, who was also a guitar player. And my parents took such an interest in the fact. And my dad said, do you love it, Eric? Do you love playing the guitar? And he said, yeah, it's my life. He said, well, then no matter what, don't let anybody deter you from doing what you love, because there are going to be so many people in this world that are going to say that's not a legitimate career. That's not a profession. You can't make a living at that. But if that is who you are and that is what you love doing, you do it. And trust me, young man, someday you're going to be really successful at this. I mean, it was so sweet. It was so sweet because already Eric was a legend and all that. But Eric was very, very moved by that. The fact that my dad took such an interest in encouraging him to do something that would be perceived by many people as unconventional and not really very legitimate. But Eric said, it was obvious that, your dad wanted to find out, like, is this important to you? Is this a part of who you are? Is this aligned with a sense of purpose and passion that you have? And if so, do that. And you're going to be successful, and don't let anybody get in your way. And Eric said to me, I wish years ago, anyone in my life would have seen that and said that to me, because you have absolutely no idea what it's like to put yourself out there at that particular time when everybody in London was going to like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be a musician. I'm going to be famous. I know we need that. I know we need that. We need the external validation of being seen, of people understanding this is a big part of who I am and what matters most to me. And if I don't express this essence, this big part of me, I will die. I will get seriously ill. There's something wrong with this. And so he said, any artist, talk to any artist or anybody doing something perceived to be provocative and, unconventional, has a steady stream of anxiety just beneath their surface, kind of wondering, like, have you lost your mind? And are you going to be all right? And it took a very long time for him to realize, yeah, I think I got this, So So yeah, thank you for bringing me back to that because I actually, David, before you highlighted how important that was, I just told it as a really funny part of the story. Like, can you believe my dad, here 1976, I mean, Google Eric Clapton 1976, you'll see how many years he had of, and then to encourage him because someday you're going to be glad you did this kind of thing. So yeah.